One major issue divided the two sides back in 2019, Medicaid expansion. A Republican lawmaker now tells me that they're confident of getting a deal done this year because the governor is no longer making Medicaid a prerequisite to getting a deal done. I asked the governor if that's true. Here's his response.
First, we've never made it a prerequisite. And second, it is an issue that is of vital importance to me and the people of North Carolina. And I've been assured by Senate and House leadership that all issues are on the table.
According to the governor, Medicaid expansion is just one of the issues on the table, like tax cuts, private school vouchers, and teacher pay raises. If it's not a deal breaker, can the two sides reach a compromise that doesn't include Medicaid? This year, the budget talks are a little different, in part because of an unexpected windfall. The state has collected more than $6 billion in taxes that it never expected and has another $5 billion in COVID stimulus relief money. Unlike past negotiations, this year Republicans will present their budget to the governor before actually voting on it. Governor Cooper calls that decision, quote, unprecedented.
That's the right approach here. If I have to veto this budget, I will, but I don't want to do that. And I don't think they want to do that this time. So I'm encouraged that we can have these conversations, and I look forward to it. And Medicaid expansion will be a very important issue that I'll be talking about with them.
The final negotiations expected to come in the next couple of weeks. We'll find out if Medicaid survives those talks. Keep in mind that unlike the federal government, North Carolina will not shut down if the two sides don't reach a deal. In Greensboro, Bill O'Neill, WXII 12 News.
All right, thank you, Bill. Beautiful day out there today. Hoping these fall temperatures stick around for the weekend, maybe even longer than that. Meteorologist Michelle Kennedy has our first look at your weather. Michelle.
Well, hey there, Kimberly. We continue to look at those temperatures that have been pretty chilly. We were down to 48 degrees this morning. It's the first time since May 20th, so it's been a little bit, right? 49 degrees in Burlington, 46 in Danville. And look at this. We've got temperatures at 44 for morning lows in Mount Airy. We're down to 42 up in the Galex area. So chilly start, and we've got a few more of them to go. We've got temperatures, of course, that have been chilly and below normal by almost more than 10 degrees in many spots. We've got you at 51 degrees once we get you through Saturday morning, or Sunday morning rather. So you know Saturday morning, another morning of upper 40s likely, and then the low 50s start to set in, and they also start to warm along with our afternoon highs. Your temperatures at 70 degrees in Madison. We've got you at Caswell County at 76 degrees up in the Caswell Game Island area. 73 in Greensboro. We're at 71 in North Wilkesboro and 70 in Mount Airy. So we feel pretty good right now. Of course, the front helped to sweep out all of that muggy, steamy summer air, and it's off the coast right now. We've got showers and thunderstorms mainly in the northern plains and approaching the Midwest. For us, though, dry, beautiful sunshine. Can we have some more, please? Well, we do have it for you coming up. Take a look at this. Chilly tomorrow morning at 48 degrees in Winston-Salem and Greensboro. We'll take you up to 76 degrees. A good bit of sunshine, especially by later in the afternoon, but we may see some clouds mix in early. And morning temperatures in the foothills from 47 degrees, warming to 75. So a nice dry day and lots of sunshine for everyone out there, especially for the afternoon. 45 degrees in the morning, all the way up to 69. So this is still a mild day for folks in the mountains. And winds generally are out of the west. That continues to heat us up. We'll have much more for you with your 7-day forecast and a look at the tropics. It's all coming up.
All right, thank you, Michelle. New at 4, Winston-Salem Forsyth County School says it's had to deal with damage likely related to a TikTok challenge. The challenge, called Devious Licks, encourages students to vandalize school bathrooms. A district spokesperson says last week several soap dispensers were damaged at Reagan and Walkertown High Schools and also at Walkertown Middle School. He says changes have been made to hall monitoring and students have been held accountable.
And we're here at Eastern Alamance for our high school playbook game of the week, where we've got a rivalry that dates back to 1965. We'll tell you all about it coming up in sports.
I believe that food is love. I think that food connects people. It connects our community. So we wanted to use food to just sort of create a little bit of a celebration.
Oh yeah, burger competition happening across the Triad this week. How it all came together coming up.
Your WXII 12 first warning weather forecast is always available on the WXII 12 app. Stay connected with meteorologist Michelle Kennedy on Facebook.
And it is week 6 of High School Playbook, and our game of the week is a local rivalry between Western and Eastern Alamance.
Oh yeah, it's a big one for sure. WXII 12's John Johnson is live at Eastern Alamance with a preview of this matchup. John, what you got?
You know, it's funny. I've been at 2 big rivalries the past 2 nights. First, it was App State Marshall. Now, Eastern Alamance versus Western. I'm getting the goods here with football. And this rivalry dates back all the way to 1965. 2 teams that just don't like each other at all. And coming into tonight's game, you'd think there'd be 2 different elms of this one. Eastern Alamance 2-1 on the season. Western 1-3. But here's the picture of this one. These teams played each other this year, technically in the spring, when it was Western who came away with the victory 14-7 in the spring playoffs. So Eastern comes into tonight's game looking to flip the script and change momentum and come away with a win of their own, keeping their good season alive, while Western looks to go ahead and flip the script and turn their season around. We'll have all the coverage here of what should be a great high school football game right here in the state of North Carolina, where we'll have Eastern Alamance versus Western. Reporting here at Eastern Alamance for WXII, John Johnson.
All right, thank you, John. In less than an hour, Winston-Salem State University will honor longtime football coach Bill Hayes by naming the field at Bowman Gray Stadium after him. In August, the Winston-Salem City Council voted to name the field after Hayes. He'll also be honored with a statue near the stadium field house. He coached both WSSU and North Carolina A&T to a combined 6 conference titles and 195 victories in his legendary career.
A big celebration is happening this evening at High Point University. The grand opening of the Nido and Mariana Kubain Arena and Conference Center is happening at 5:30. Now, the building is going to be home of High Point University's men's and women's basketball programs, as well as concerts, speakers, and other events. The arena can hold 4,500 fans, and the Conference Center can seat up to 2,500 people. Because of today's ceremony, heads up, you need to know Lexington Avenue is now going to be closed between University Parkway and Centennial Street.
And crews are continuing to battle a large wildfire in Northern California. You can see the massive flames ripping through the Redding area. Crews say the Fawn fire has scorched 5,500 acres and is just 5% contained. In all, 25 structures have been destroyed and at least 2,000 more are at risk. Evacuation orders have also been issued.
And it is time now for a check of our forecast. A pretty nice day here, though, Kim. But
it's been beautiful, and I'm sure there's a lot of activities outdoors this weekend, Michelle, and good weather for that.
Great weather. We're going to try and keep all that tropical moisture seen with Hurricane Sam away from us. We've got gorgeous conditions here. Meantime, Category 1 Hurricane Sam, now a hurricane for us, continues on a track that's going to approach the Bahamas and may impact folks out through areas of Bermuda as we go into the next few days. You definitely have active forecasts for this system that'll impact folks from San Juan, Puerto Rico, and it turns, it looks like, up toward Bermuda. So again, another system that may be in its path. Just to the north and northeast, we've got another system here also at about a 70% chance that it may form into a tropical system within the next 2 to 5 days. So we're looking at this also as a possibility on our list of storms. So we've made it so far through Sam as a Category 1 hurricane. Teresa will be next. Of course, we've made it through Rose and Peter just within the last 2 weeks. And Teresa, as we mentioned, it would be next on the list for anything named. When it comes to our forecast over the next several days, we've got temperatures that'll climb from those 70s into the 80s as we head into early next week. But your weekend looking just about perfect. So below normal temperatures for afternoon highs, really pleasant conditions to get out there and do almost anything this weekend. Even camping should be pretty comfortable. And we've got dry conditions straight through Tuesday. So we do need the rain, and it is going to be looking like we need more of it as we have these extended periods of dryness in between those rain chances. So you might still be watering your flowers out front, and of course those mild conditions for you persist right now. Ridge of high pressure is in control in between 2 cold fronts. This front does not bring us the rain, but we do have the sunshine in place and maybe a few clouds that'll mix through by early tomorrow morning. Notice our drought concerns, and this was updated of course on Thursday, and so this does not include any of the rain that we may have seen since then, but you've got the dry conditions, Reidsville, Roxborough through Chapel Hill, abnormally dry conditions pushing up. likely we'll see some improvements on that for next week. But remember, we've got a dry stretch ahead too, so that might cancel out any of the rainfall that we've already seen. Warm conditions October 1st through the 7th as we look ahead. It is going to be a nice warm stretch. It looks like temperatures will be again above normal, maybe some 5 to 10 degrees. And we're then looking at drier conditions for the first week of October as well. Temperatures here, 66 degrees in Hayes. We've got you at 64 degrees in Sparta, 58 in Beech Mountain. And those temperatures out to the south and east in Pleasant Garden are comfortable at 72. We're down to 68 degrees in Stokesdale. So looking great out there this evening, but it's sweatshirt weather, right? Maybe even blankets in the stands if you're heading out to some of those Friday night football games. You've got temperatures at 73 so far for highs in Burlington. Certainly well below normal. And this time of the year, we should be closer to the upper 70s. Winds are out of the east at about 5 miles an hour. And that wind pattern matters for us. As we head into the next 2 days, it becomes more west and west southwesterly. With that, temperatures actually warm to near normal or just above by early next week. So 71 degrees currently with those calm conditions. Clear skies this evening for around 9 o'clock. You're down into the 60s at least. And then 50s quickly and dipping you down to 48 degrees with 69 about noontime tomorrow. On your Saturday, if you're heading out and about, winds are out of the west southwest at about 5 miles an hour, becoming westerly later in the day, and some mostly sunny skies later on with 76. Yeah, foothill temperatures, Wilkesboro not reporting right now, but you're still sitting in those 70s there, low 70s and upper 60s, and then dipping you into the 50s. By noontime tomorrow, you're at 68 with 75 degrees. For folks from Yadkinville through East Bend, it's going to feel good. Now in the mountains, we're at 63 currently, so Galax temperatures comfortable but cooling. 52 degrees around 9 o'clock, if not cooler by 45 degrees early tomorrow morning. And we'll see a few clouds until noontime. Then those winds and the sunshine helping out with upper 60s, should be near 69 degrees. And that's cooler for you too there this time of the year. Hour by hour, you can see those clouds may stream in for a brief time. By middle of the day, we're already clearing. We don't have much moisture to work with, so no rain out of this system. And we've got those temperatures coming up and then dropping back down just as quickly. It's all thanks to radiational cooling. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast, folks. Gorgeous weather out there. 70s, sunshine, and warm temperatures. As we head through Monday and Tuesday, we will be looking for that rain, and it may not develop until the following weekend. So enjoy while you can.
All right, thank you so much for that, Michelle. A heads up for you, a couple of programming notes for this weekend. Devontae McKenneth is going to host a Stitch special filled with 11 creative minds who prove that an interest in the arts can turn into something incredible. Creative Crafters airs Saturday at 7 p.m. on WXII 12. Then at 7:30, Kenny Beck will host our Salute to Heroes special, highlighting a handful of local people who are doing really remarkable things in our community. Still ahead, if you are planning to head out on the high seas, you'll want to watch this story next. New research from the CDC on where you're more likely to catch a stomach bug.
WXII 12 News is always available on the free WXII 12 app. Stay connected to Talitha Vickers on her Facebook page.
Welcome back. If you're looking for a job, today might be your lucky day. 25,000 CVS Health jobs are up for grabs during a national hiring event, and it's happening right now. COVID-19 and the flu season are driving up the need for more employees. So open positions, they include pharmacists, pharmacy technicians, nurses, and retail store associates. The jobs are for full-time, part-time, and temporary workers. You can text CVS to 25000, that's 25000, to receive job locations and begin the application process right now.
Well, not much can ruin a cruise faster than a stomach bug, but not all ships are created equal when it comes to preventing them. The CDC says you're more likely to get sick on a bigger ship. Researchers looked at data from more than 150 outbreaks of the norovirus on ships from 2006 to 2019. They found the bigger the ship and the longer the cruise, the more likely that you are to become ill. Experts say the best way to protect yourself is to wash your hands frequently. Well, this next story is going to make you hungry. The competition for the best burger in the Triad coming up in 4:30.
And we're continuing to talk about beautiful weather out there. High temperatures in the low 70s today, and we continue with those temps gradually warming into the weekend. We'll have your weekend forecast. It's next.
You're watching WXII 12 News.
If you are just joining us, here's a look at what's happening now. The Alamance County Sheriff's Office is now investigating a homicide.
A person was found dead on the side of Brucewood Road this morning. Now, we're still waiting for more information from the Sheriff's Office, and we'll update you as soon as we get it.
A former Guilford County Schools employee is charged with indecent liberties with a child. Police say 25-year-old Connor Earp is now charged with 1 count of indecent liberties with a child. He's in jail with a $25,000 bond. According to his social media pages, he was an assistant football coach at Northern Guilford High School. His time with the school district, it was brief, and according to officials, he was hired on August 11th and resigned this past Wednesday following the accusations. School officials say that they're also launching their own internal investigation. They say counseling is available for all students. I'll tell you what, we are just loving the comfortable fall Friday temperatures around the Piedmont Triad right now. Meteorologist Michelle Kennedy has another look at your weather. How are we looking now and into the weekend, Michelle?
Yeah, looking pretty fantastic, actually. We've got temperatures that are really not too much different from yesterday. So we saw a lot of that cooling happen after the front rolled through with all that good rain. And this morning we were down to 42 in Galex, 44 in Mount Airy, 40 in Martinsville. Look at this, 46 in Danville. So some chilly temperatures out there. And we've got another morning at least to see those cool 40s. You know, crisp fall weather. Well, if you're heading out to the football games tonight, you'll need to know to bring the blankets and some warmer jackets or at least layers. You've got 51 degrees by Sunday morning, so we gradually see those temperatures improving, and that goes along for our afternoon highs as well. Temperatures at 74 Winston-Salem, Uptown Lexington. We've got you at 72 in Asheboro and at 74 in Greensboro with 76 up in the Caswell-Gameland area. Mostly sunny skies out there today, and now we take you through your Saturday, mixing in a few of those clouds. We think the only thing we're going to be able to get out of the tail end of the system will be some clouds, but those will be with us through about middle of the morning hours. You're dry. It's beautiful out there, and we see temperatures from 48 degrees warming all the way to 76. So west-southwesterly breeze tomorrow will have an impact. It does take us up a little bit closer to where we should be this time of the year, and we'll see plenty of that sunshine. So a great fall looking weekend, no matter what you might have planned. We'll have much more for you coming up.
All right, thank you so much, Michelle. President Joe Biden addressing the pandemic today after the director of the CDC took the rare step of unruling an advisory panel's recommendation on boosters, now clearing the way for frontline workers to get a 3rd shot of the Pfizer vaccine. Alice Barr has the very latest from Washington.
President Biden today urging eligible Americans to go get their Pfizer booster shots after the CDC cleared the way for roughly 60 million people to get a 3rd dose 6 months after their 2nd shot.
The booster shot is free and easily accessible.
Overnight, the head of the CDC overruled a closely divided panel of her own agency's advisors to recommend a 3rd Pfizer dose for Americans who are frequently exposed to COVID at work, like healthcare workers, teachers, and grocery store employees.
Our healthcare systems are once again at maximum capacity in parts of the country. Our teachers are facing uncertainty as they walk into the classroom, and I must do what I can to preserve the health across our nation.
Also eligible for boosters, people age 65 and up, and those 18 and up with certain underlying health conditions. The guidelines do not apply to anyone who got the Moderna or Johnson & Johnson vaccines.
You still have a high degree of protection. Our doctors and scientists are working day and night to analyze the data from those 2 organizations on whether and when you need a booster shot.
President Biden plans to get his booster soon, but he and top health officials are clear that vaccinating the unvaccinated remains the top priority.
We will not boost our way out of this pandemic.
The unvaccinated overcrowd our hospitals, overrunning emergency rooms and intensive care units.
The president hoping federal vaccine mandates will get more shots in arms. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
In Texas, state leaders say they will do a full forensic audit of the 2020 general election in 4 counties. The audit will review voting in the state's 2 largest Democratic and 2 largest Republican counties. Those counties include Houston, Dallas, and their suburbs. The announcement didn't spell out what prompted the review, but the Secretary of State's office said it had, quote, already begun the process. Former President Trump won Texas in the 2020 election, but not the general election. Meanwhile, officials in Arizona say a partisan review of November's election has confirmed the winners and that Joe Biden won the presidency by an even bigger margin than first reported. Cyber Ninjas, a Florida-based cybersecurity company, led the effort by Republicans to audit the 2020 presidential election in Arizona. Republicans ordered the audit, claiming there was widespread fraud and that Biden didn't really win. But again, this GOP review shows Biden did in fact win Arizona.
Thousands of young activists, they staged protests all over the world today to demand climate change action from politicians. Now in Germany, activists gathered in front of the parliament in Berlin. Activist Greta Thunberg joined that protest 2 days before the German election, in which climate change has been a major topic. Now scientists warn that the world is heading towards dangerous temperature increases unless greenhouse gas emissions are cut sharply in the coming years. An Arkansas man has pleaded guilty to assaulting a flight attendant. That attack happened on a flight from Charlotte to Little Rock in February of 2020. Prosecutors say Leon Anderson grabbed the flight attendant several times and also made inappropriate sexual comments to him. Anderson faces up to 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine when he's sentenced.
Lawmakers are working out the differences on a bill that would make the work histories of more state employees public. This week, the Senate attached personnel record language to a different measure that the House wants, but House lawmakers rejected the changes. Speaker Tim Moore says the chamber wants to make government more transparent, but some colleagues are concerned about unintended consequences with making more personnel information available. Well, there is a burger competition happening all across the Triad this week, and our Jackie Pascal grabbed a bite and some more information on how Eat, Drink, Burger Week came together. Check it out.
This is one of the most popular burgers this week, too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Lucky for me, I got to try the Breakfast of Champions over here,
There you go.
also known as Eat, Drink, Burger Week. Okay. I chowed down alongside Algernon Cash. He's the program director for Triad Food and Beverage Coalition, which organized this week.
Burgers are universal.
This was one of many bites of burgers for Cash, committed to hitting as many of the 23 participating restaurants as possible.
I believe that food is love. I think that food connects people. It connects our community. So we wanted to use food to just sort of create a little bit of a celebration.
But it's also a little bit about competition.
Just make sure everybody knows that Young Cardinal Cafe and David Swing will be wearing that championship belt, and I will be running around downtown with it.
Okay, it's a lot about the competition for executive chef David Swing, so he got creative with his sandwich, with toppings like pork belly, bacon jam, and fried pickles. But of course, it all comes down to the burger, and that is sourced locally from the Butcher's Block just down the road.
And I think we need, more of that in the community. Businesses helping everybody out. And right now, I think we've got a great culinary scene going on.
But many of these restaurants are struggling right now after a year and a half of pandemic ups and downs.
We take it week by week.
And that is exactly why Cash says they created this competition.
We wanted to do something that just really calls some momentum and calls people to come out and go into the restaurants and support owners.
A success so far, and you do have until Saturday to vote for your favorite.
You like it? Mm-hmm. Even got a little lick of the finger? Okay, yeah.
Just pick the one that is finger licking good. In Winston-Salem, Jackie Pascal, WXII 12 News.
We have some breaking news to tell you about. Alamante's Burlington schools are reporting a new COVID-19 cluster. 5 cases were reported at Audrey Garrett Elementary School. The school district tells us that all the close contacts to those cases have already been contacted and that the school has been deep cleaned.
A live look for you right now. Your commute along Salem Parkway at Salem Lake and Winston-Salem is all clear for your Friday.
I never felt intimidated. I never felt like if I couldn't ask a question because I didn't know an answer.
As Hispanic Heritage Month continues, we have a story of 4 women who climbed the ladder of success to become top executives in a field traditionally dominated by men. In today's project community, we are celebrating Hispanic and Latin heritage with the inspiring story of 4 women who climbed the ladder of success. Felicia Rodriguez tells us the women excelled in a field traditionally dominated by men to become top executives.
I am a boss.
I am the Chief Information Officer.
I am the Chief Financial Officer, responsible for the finance of the company.
I'm the Chief Lending Officer at Power Financial Credit Union.
These 4 strong, smart, and savvy women all started as tellers, but now help run one of South Florida's largest credit unions.
Did you ever think you would last 34 years?
Never in my wildest dreams that I think that this was going to be my career.
For Alicia Quevedo, it's been a fulfilling career where she's always felt supported.
I never felt intimidated. I never felt like if I couldn't ask a question because I didn't know an answer.
Michelle Diaz has been with the company for 30 years.
I think through the years, it's just been the perfect place for me to stay.
As a veteran in the company, Michelle mentors younger women.
They really have provided us a great platform for us to be able to mentor younger children and younger kids, and hopefully give them a little bit of a role model and show them that there are other women and other Latinas that can definitely be a Chief Information Officer someday or be in one of the technology positions.
For Wanda Ferrer, her childhood dreams led her to America.
Because I witnessed and I experienced the struggles that my mother had living in the Dominican Republic and not having access to financial resources and education, that inspired me to wanting to work in the financial industry.
Leslie Garcia Suarez is hoping all her dedication will help set a good example for her 2 young girls.
I wasn't born in Cuba. My parents were Cuban, but being the first from my generation to graduate and to have this opportunity here to set the tone and the responsibility for those younger and older, I'm definitely very honored.
All 4 of these professionals are proud of where they come from. Their Hispanic heritage is at the heart of everything they do.
The values that my parents had taught us, being from an immigrant from Cuba, my father, and one from Dominican Republic, my mom, they taught us a lot of values, hard work, and being able to always have trust in yourself, and of course, make education a really big part of your life.
I'm very happy that we celebrate Hispanic heritage. I think that it gives us an opportunity to celebrate the contributions that the Hispanics have made to the American culture. But I think that there's work to do. I mean, it's not something that we just need to celebrate during 1 month. I think that the work continues.
Being in my credit union with 5 different women and 4 of them all being Latin, Hispanic background is really all telling as to what we can do once we aspire.
And that was Felicia Rodriguez reporting. Proof of the impact of these women is in front and center at the credit union's mission, fighting economic inequality and giving opportunity to minority-owned customers and businesses as well.
Well, check out this new drone video from Spain. You can see a single home being spared from lava that is flowing from a volcano on La Palma Island. Social media users are calling it the Miracle House. The images show rivers of lava from that volcano engulfing a residential area. Now, so far, the lava has destroyed nearly 200 homes and forced about 6,000 people to flee. All right, let's get a check on our weather as we head into the weekend, and it looks like it's going to be spectacular, Michelle.
Yeah, it is going to be beautiful out there. We've talked about those temperatures that are just fantastic. And I was just taking a look at the tropics too, and Hurricane Sam out there. So we'll be updating you on the tropics in just a moment. But you can see chilly weather, 47 degrees for early tomorrow morning in the foothills. And we'll take you all the way to near 75, and in the Tri too, near 76 degrees. So we've got a really nice stretch here that we've got warmer weather developing gradually. So that means we get to tap into the dry air. Temperatures that are just slightly below normal for afternoon highs, but still well below normal for morning lows. You're at 45 degrees in the mountains with temperatures at 69, winds out of the west at 5 to 10 miles an hour. And here's this very active tropical system where we had remnants of Rose. We've also got this next system that may develop along with Hurricane Sam, likely to become a Category 4 hurricane, at least on some part of its track here within the next 48 hours. You see that center of the eye well defined now. So previously a tropical storm, now up to a Category 1 hurricane. It's going to travel west west at 14 miles an hour, winds sustained at 75 miles an hour, and temperatures moving into some low to mid 80s. So ocean temperatures very warm for folks there. And we're also seeing at the center of the storm so far about 23-foot waves. Certainly not the strongest system yet, but we will be watching it as it tracks toward Bermuda likely. All right, for our forecast, we've talked about those temperatures that continue to stay out in the low 70s. This is nice to have for us, but we do see that trend to take you back into the mid and upper 70s, which is typical